Hey family, today I'm standing in front of our cafe menu, which is a really important part of our grade 1 reading and writing goals. So our cafe menu, we know and the kids know that you don't order hot chocolate off this menu, you don't order an egg salad sandwich. What you order is reading strategies to help us become better readers and writers. So this says cafe. The C stands for comprehension. I can understand what I read. A stands for accuracy. I can read the words. F stands for fluency. I can read smoothly and with expression. And E stands for expand vocabulary. I can read new and interesting words. So I wanted to go through some of these strategies with you so that you can keep some of the language consistent at home. Reading has changed quite a bit since we were younger, and it's all about giving the kids the tools to figure out words on their own. So you've noticed that I do some flashcard words, our grade 1 sight words, and that's the only time I'll ask kids to memorize words by flashcards. The rest of those words that they learn and they come across, we want to teach them how to use strategies to figure it out. And you use these strategies in reading and in writing and also in life. So I just wanted to go through some of the strategies that the kids know and that we've taught at school and worked on at school so that you can continue working on them at home. So some of our comprehension strategies, so the kids know comprehension, I can understand what I read. 3 ways to read. So I hope the kids can tell you the 3 ways to read are by reading the words, reading the pictures, and rereading. When you reread a story, you're looking at the pictures, you're thinking, and you're talking. Check for understanding. So while we're reading, often aloud, if I'm reading to the kids, I will say stop, check for understanding. And this is just a way to make sure that they're comprehending the story and know what's going on. Comprehension is a massive strategy in grade 1, and it's really important for life. So when we check for understanding, we ask ourselves who and what. The STAR strategy. The STAR strategy means we're asking ourselves, does it look right? Does it sound right? And does it make sense? Making connections. So there's lots of different ways to make connections to a text, but it just means that you're connecting the text to something that you've seen in real life or something that has meaning in your life. So you can make a text-to-text connection by connecting it to another book, a text-to-self connection by connecting what you've read to something that happened to you, or a text-to-world connection, so something that you've seen out in the world. Inferring. So now we're down here. Inferring means that we are thinking about what the author isn't really saying out loud. So for example, we had one poem about a snowball, and it said, I made myself a snowball as perfect as can be. I thought I'd keep it as a pet and let it sleep with me. I made it some pajamas and a pillow for its head. Then last night it ran away, but first it wet the bed. So the kids will tell you, what really happened to that snowball? Did it really wet the bed? No, of course not, it melted. But the author doesn't say, the snowball melted. You have to infer, you have to think about what is the author not saying directly. So that's a tricky one and a great one to practice at home. Asking questions. While you're reading, you want to be asking yourselves a lot of questions to help you understand what point the author is trying to make, or even the illustrator. Making predictions. So before you even open a book, sometimes you might want to look at the pictures to start and think and really think about what the book might be about, and you can use the title and other text clues to figure that out. When you visualize, you're making pictures in your head. So a lot of times in grade 1, we're using lots of high quality picture books, but sometimes I won't show the pictures of the books and I'll ask the kids to visualize or think about what the picture would look like if they could see it. This is a handy feature or a strategy when the kids move forward and start to move out of picture books. They still want to be able to make those rich illustrations in their minds. And this is our last one was use your schema. So schema actually started or is also on this part of our menu for expanding vocabulary, because that is a new and interesting word. And we found out that schema means your background knowledge. So all the information that's already in your brain. You always want to be using that when you're reading books or writing new stories. So A for accuracy. I can read the words. These are some strategies you'll often see me referring to in other videos, or maybe I'll comment on. Great job using Stretchy Snake, for example. So lips the fish. Lips the fish tells us to get your lips ready for the first sound. You always need to make the first sound first when you're trying to sound out a word. And often, if you help your child to just sound out that first sound, then they can sound the rest of the word out more easily. Stretchy Snake. Stretchy Snake tells us to stretch out the sounds. Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye tells us to look at the pictures for clues. So this is a really important strategy, especially in grade 1. I will often do a book look with kids, and we will just look at the pictures first, and I'll ask the kids, what do you think is happening on these pages? By doing that, if they see, say, an apple in the picture, they know that the word apple is probably on that page, or the story might be about an apple. So that's probably the best strategy to use at home right now, to start before you even use Lips the Fish. Look at the pictures for clues. Chunky Monkey. Chunky Monkey tells us to look for chunks that we know. So, for example, squealing E's, ing, clusters, all of those familiar chunks. So you know, it's really important with like digraphs such as ch or the ph. If kids already know that every time they see a ch, it says ch, then they're not going to waste time trying to sound out k. They know that using their Chunky Monkey strategy, that ch says ch every time. And Flippy Dolphin. This is one that we're still kind of practicing, but it means flip the vowel sound. So, for example, in Flippy, if you were sounding it out I-P, flippy, you know using your STAR strategy, that doesn't make sense. So you would flip that vowel sound, Flippy Dolphin. And that's how you would sound out that word. So that's a really great one to practice at home now too. Fluency. I can read smoothly and with expression. So this is where we're learning about all of our punctuation. So we know that a period means stop. A comma means pause, I'm going to continue. A question mark you use when you're asking a question. And an exclamation mark means that the author is excited when they wrote something, or maybe they're mad, or it's just heavy in emotion. So it's to make a really strong point. We also were starting to learn about quotation marks, which means that someone said something. So often in our morning message, I will put a quote, and I will use quotation marks because that is something that someone else said. It's not my words. So for example, if I'm saying, a person's a person no matter how small, and I put that in quotation marks, that's because Dr. Seuss said that first, and I want to make sure that I'm giving credit to the person who said it first if I'm using someone else's words. So that's another one that the kids will definitely practice more in grade 2, but just wanted to introduce that now. And expand vocabulary. I can use new and interesting words. So as kids come to school and they're learning in kindergarten, grade 1, pre-K, and all the years to follow, they're going to be introduced to a lot of new words. And expanding vocabulary is a really important strategy to have. So these are just some of the words that we've learned. There's plenty more, but these ones we pulled out as really new and interesting words. So we have personality, means who you are inside. Precious means special. Treaty is like a promise or an agreement. Fascinating means very interesting. Schema, background knowledge. Stray means to wander. Diversity means different. Dull means boring. And pledge means promise. So as you can tell by the lovely artwork, I always ask my the class to decorate these strategies and put them on our menu. So I just wanted to kind of introduce this idea to you at home, families, so that you can be kind of knowing what the kids are referring to when they're using different strategies, and you can continue to practice this at home. I hope this helps. I'm going to keep making some more videos to introduce some of our ideas and our language that we use in the classroom to keep it consistent. And if there's anything else that your child may say and you're like, I don't even know what that is, like maybe squealing E's, maybe you hear them talk about squealing E's or bossy E's and you're like, I don't even know what that means. Just send me a message. I'm happy to do more videos like this. And you can always just reach me on Seesaw with any question. It doesn't matter how small or how big, and I will do my best to help you out and answer that. Okay, so this is our cafe menu, and I hope that this helps you to read and write and helps your kids to read and write at home. Okay, so have a great day. Thanks for watching, and watch for more activities to follow.